You ever get used to being invisible? Like you could vanish from a room and no one would notice? That was my life. Nathan, the human background character. I wasn't just shy. I was afraid of rejection, of failure, of being seen and mocked. And believe me, people had no problem mocking me. At school, I was known as Napkin Nathan. The name came from a lunchroom moment when I dropped my tray and used a stack of napkins to cover my face. Yeah, kids are cruel, but I never fought back, never stood up. My strategy was simple: survive each day quietly. But everything changed the day of the wildfire. A freak lightning storm hit the hills behind our neighborhood, and by sunset, half the forest was on fire. It spread so fast no one had time to think. People were running. Helicopters circled. Fire trucks screamed down our street. And that's when I saw her, Mrs. Ramirez, our 80-year-old neighbor, still inside her house at the edge of the flames. Everyone else was evacuating. I froze for a second. That familiar fear crept in. But then I remembered the way people used to look at me, like I couldn't do anything. And something inside me snapped. I grabbed a wet towel, wrapped it around my face, and sprinted toward her house. The heat was unreal. My lungs burned, but I found her sitting in the hallway, confused and shaking. I told her, "We're getting out." No stutter, no hesitation. I carried her down the steps as the windows cracked from the heat. The second I got her to safety, the firefighters arrived. People were staring. Some were crying. One girl, Rebecca, the same one who called me Napkin Boy since 8th grade, looked at me like she'd seen a ghost. That was my payback. Not revenge, not yelling, or insults, but showing everyone who I really was when it counted most. I didn't have to scream to be strong. I acted when it froze, and that changed everything. The next day, the same teachers who used to pass me over in group projects asked me to speak to the class. My classmates who ignored me now saved me a seat. Rebecca, she tried to apologize. I just smiled and walked past her. She didn't deserve my anger, just my silence. What mattered more was how I felt about me. For the first time, I walked through those school halls without my shoulders hunched. I didn't need their approval anymore. I already earned my own. Now I know something most people don't. Courage isn't loud. It's not dramatic. Sometimes, it's the quietest person in the room who ends up running through fire when no one else will. So if you ever felt small or scared or worthless, just wait. Your moment will come. And when it does, don't run from it. Because one day, like I did, you'll prove them all wrong.